doing today? Welcome to the B-Rye Show. And I am back, boys. We are here with a brand new comedian here in town. He is starting to build a new comedy scene here, dude. And he's a good man, bro. Everybody, please welcome Dub from BombCity. Round of applause, boys.
What's going on, brother? Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, dude. Welcome to the show, man. How you been?
Man, I've been good. And, the cool thing is about me coming into the area is I don't have to build the scene because BombCity Comedy has already built a scene. I'm trying to provide a space for that scene to really thrive and become more accessible for people. So big shout out to BombCity Comedy and everything they've done over these years, to really build the scene. And man, I'm just happy to come along and add what I can. And man, it's a good time. And thanks for having me on this, dude. It's a whole nother piece, getting the media going. And it's awesome.
I'm trying to help those guys too. I'm trying to do my part too.
Heck yeah.
It's just funny though, because what's interesting, Dub, is we already heard about you before, and we heard BombCity, and then they're all talking about it. Hey, someone started BombCity, so they're thinking it was Jacob Rapstein. They were thinking of his friends were trying to tease Yellow City. Is what happened. They were they thought it was a joke.
Oh.
And so when they first saw BombCity on, I don't know, Facebook, I think, Probably. They were like, oh, it's one of Jacob's friends. They're trying
like playing a prank.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
And
dude.
So that's what they thought, and that's what I was like. Oh, okay, cool. Well, anyways, over time, I came to the circus room, and Javi was like, hey, this is Dub from BombCity, and in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is a legit thing. I didn't know it was
gotcha.
trying to, and so and I thought that was cool, man. Since I've seen you on a open mic, dude, you're always so funny, dude. You're always great, and I was like, wow, dude, I didn't know this dude was legit. And what I like about what you're doing too is like you actually get along with comedians, which is comedians are very interesting. I don't know, they have their own language is what I'm trying to get at. So I don't know, it's cool that you came in here, man. But what I wanted to ask you, so start from the beginning, man. Let me know about you. So where you did you grow up here and all that stuff, and then all that stuff?
No, so I grew up in South Oak Cliff, which is like inner city Dallas area.
Okay.
But moved up here in '99, so I've been here a long time. And so definitely call the flat and yellow home, man.
Yeah.
But from Dallas originally.
Oh, okay. And then you moved here. Is that what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you've been in here, right? You know the area, right?
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. So Dallas, they have their own. You didn't do the comedy scene out there?
No, I mean, and man, I'm the rookie of the whole group. Like I've only really started doing comedy purposefully. The beginning of this year in January. That was my first.
Dude, I did not know. I did not know that, dude. I didn't. Well, you come out so good. So I'm all like, oh, he's a legit. He's probably he's been doing it for 5-10 years. You know what I mean?
Well, I've always had jobs where I run my mouth, and I always try to be funny when I can. So it's like I think I've had kind of a little bit of a runway into it. But as far as straight up doing comedy sets purposefully, yeah, man, just January.
Oh, I did not know that, man.
Just got the gift of the gab, man.
Yeah, you're just like, all right, I'm gonna do comedy. Okay, dude, I didn't know that, man. Like, yeah, welcome to the scene.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Hey, so what actually? Okay, but has it been crossing your mind now? Like, oh, I've always wanted to do comedy. Let's do comedy.
Yeah, man. I mean, even when I was just a kid, I would love to listen to. My grandfather had some old records of old comics, and I would listen to those guys, and then. Back in Comedy Central's heyday and all that, I was always, watching the specials and HBO occasionally when I was, somewhere where they had it, watching the comedy specials. So I've always loved stand-up comedy, and even more so over, probably the last decade or so, just really been obsessed with it and listening to it all the time and watching the comedy scene blow up down in Austin. That's really what kind of started me thinking man, we need a spot here in the Amarillo area, a comedy club where, that can really help facilitate what's already going on here, bring in comics from Dallas, from Denver, wherever. And just, man, let's blow it up. Let's take it to the next level because people are wanting it. And I think we got the right mix here to provide it.
Oh yeah, for sure. That was just kind of cool though, because they told me, so you bring in comedians, right? How do you do that? Don't you just call them and say, hey, you want to be on the show and all that, and then you send them out like that?
Yeah. So I've been establishing some relationships with the guys that own the comedy clubs down in Dallas, and just asking them, for advice, and just a couple of them really wanted to help me out, and so they like gave me a list of comics, in the DFW scene, and just some insight into who they think would do well here, and so yeah, man, I've just been partnering with Shark Beach currently, doing one show a month out there where I bring in a DFW comic, pull one of the local comics in, and then I'll host the local comic features, and then the headliners out of Dallas, and so yeah, man, that's how I've been putting it together, and it's been a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, dude, I hear. So it's interesting too, because people have heard people have heard about Bomb City. They're all like, "Hey, Bomb City Comedy, it was so fun. We went at Shark Beach. It was so cool." And I'm all like, "Oh, hey, y'all know about that? That's cool, man."
Yeah.
Well, welcome to this is YCC. So check this one out too. This was downtown.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was cool. But yeah, they've heard about you, Shark Beach. Yeah,
awesome,
and I've heard about Shark Beach. Dude, they have some good burgers. I will say that
they do, man, for sure.
Yeah, tell them if they want. Ask them if they want to come on sometime. They're actually.
Oh yeah.
I went there once and had a burger. I like their like big old like, I don't know, that yard or whatever they have there. Is that where y'all have the comedy stuff, or they have it somewhere else?
We have it in the warehouse, which is right next to their big outdoor venue.
Oh, okay, okay.
The beach, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, man, Brian from Shark Beach, he'd be a great interview, dude. I'll tell him for sure.
Yeah, dude. It's because I went there and I was like, dude, I've never heard of Shark Beach. Like, I've never heard. So I was all like, oh, okay, well, let me check it out. It's out of town, or not, kind of outside of town.
It's on the edge of town for sure. Yeah, but man, when they bring in those big cover bands, like, there's a lot of people out there.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I've seen photos. I don't know, just never got a chance to, check that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I need. Hey, and so how did you associate with them though? What was it that like, oh, hey, my name is Dub, and how'd that work out? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so actually I got connected with them through Matt Lee, who would be another great interview, bro. Okay. And he's the owner of Allergic to Average. And so you may see people rocking the big A to A Allergic to Average logo on a lot, because he's got a really, really nice clothing line.
Yeah.
But it's really about it's like a lifestyle brand that focuses on having a higher mindset and a success-based mindset. And so me and Matt have been friends for a long time. I've done a lot of stuff with Allergic to Average over the years. And when I brought up this idea of bringing comics in, he was like, man, let me holler at Quentin Isbell. Who is he has a great social media promotion company and graphic design and all that. And Quentin put me in touch with, well, we all met up over there with Brian at Shark Beach and just told him what I was looking to do. And, Brian is one of those guys, he wants everybody to win. Yeah. So he's like, man, let's figure it out. You keep the door, I'll just take the drink sales, and let's just try it out for a few months and see how it goes. And we both agreed we wanted it to be a win for Shark Beach, a win for Bomb City, and a win for the community. And so yeah, man, he's been great to work with, super easygoing. Really appreciate those guys. But yeah, both those guys would be a great interview for the show, dude.
I was just telling them to come on. You're welcome to, man.
Adam, man.
And then so that's cool. And then that's how where you're at today, Bomb City, kind of right. Like that's kind of all three of y'all just kind of work together. Is that how that works? Okay, cool, man. And so what brought you with the word Bomb City? You know what I mean? What was that like? Where'd that come from?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, if you're from Amarillo or have spent a lot of time here, that's like one of the nicknames for the city because of Pantex and all that. And I just felt like there was a good double meaning there, because as a comic, you don't want to bomb, right?
Yeah.
So it's like come to Bomb City, it's the minefield, Are you gonna blow up or are you gonna bomb? What's happening there? And so I just felt like it was a clever double meaning there, and so that's why I went with Bomb City Comedy.
That's cool, man. And you already knew about YCC here?
No, I didn't, man.
Oh, you didn't? Oh.
So in my last job, I traveled a lot, man, like a third of the year, and usually on weekends. And so, dude, I'd been like almost unplugged from anything that was going on in Amarillo for several years, man. And so, yeah, when I found out about Yellow City Comedy, I was like, oh, man, I got to go check this out, And so I started going and hitting up the open mics at, Crack and Crab, 806, the Circus Room. And, just getting to know the comics and just seeing, where can I help add value and help promote what they're doing? Because one of the things I really love, I feel like there's been a shift in comedy where it's gone from a really competitive thing, which I hate, man, because I don't feel like you win that way, to a more collaborative model. Yeah. And I really appreciate how, at some of the higher tiers of comedy, you'll see that being modeled really well. And so I'm like, man, whatever I can do to help support what they're doing, and they've been sharing my posts, and I'm like, man, there's room for everybody to win. And the more that everybody wins, like, dude, that's That's the win.
Yeah, that's how I see it too.
Yeah.
I really do see it like that. You know, just if you partner up, we can grow the scene. I don't like, for example, there's other people that do podcasts here. Now, of course, we all know about each other, but we ain't got no. I don't want no beef or not trying to compete with anybody because we want to. In my personal opinion, whether it comes to rap, EDM, and all that, I believe that all of us should at least work together and not try to compete with each other because we want to grow the scene that we're all trying to grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I see it too. You know what I mean? I think if we all work together, we can grow the scene we're trying to build.
Synergy, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I like that place.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Hey, dude. So, when it came to comedy, guy, who was the comedian that just, you know what, I like this comedian. This is kind of the stepping stone. You know what I'm talking about? Like who is it that was like, yeah, this is the guy.
Yeah. So I think the first guy that I really latched onto and could really just watch their specials over and over again was Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
He's probably the GOAT in my mind.
Okay.
But yeah, he's probably the one that when I would watch him and just the mastery that he has of the craft, the timing, the wordsmithing, the misdirection, the storytelling, the ability to address complicated social issues that other people won't touch for fear of being canceled. Dude, he's able to bring that topic to the table, whatever it is, and just have a conversation that's hilarious, allows people to see different perspectives, which brings, that harmony thing back into the equation, and so yeah, Dave Chappelle, man, is for me is the GOAT.
That's the GOAT for you.
For me, yeah.
And then that's when this is comedy. Okay.
Well, I would say that's when I realized everything that comedy could do.
Yeah.
Before that, it was just kind of like, it makes people laugh, and that's awesome, and that's hilarious, and I enjoy it. But watching Dave Chappelle do his thing, I was like, oh man, it's more than just a joke, a setup, a punchline, making a joke that makes somebody laugh. Like, this is it might be the highest level art form when it comes to communication, in my opinion. So, yeah.
So, okay, now, when was your first time on the mic? Was it actually here?
Doing an actual stand-up comedy open mic? Yeah, in January, yeah.
So, where was it at, though?
So, it was the first show that I opened for at Shark Beach.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
You didn't have any, experience prior to that, though?
I mean, I've always run my mouth, whether I was doing corporate training or speaking, but, and I would always try to be funny, right? Because that always helps the art of communication, period.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
But as far as just like a pure get up, punchline, misdirect, set up, all that, just pure stand-up comedy, January was my first go.
Oh, okay. So that was, so again, you already know what it's like to be around the crowd with them.
Yeah, and I was in the music scene for a long time as a young man, and so I don't have any stage fright issues at all. So I think that really helps me, though.
Yeah. No.
Those two things, I'm probably, I don't want to say further along, but I've got some tools in my belt when it comes to stepping into the comedy scene that really help me out a lot.
Yeah. I forgot about that because you did an open mic one day. You actually rapped, and I was like, dang, I'm over here. You just like Eminem style.
They say I grew up in Oak Cliff, man. So
it's just funny though, because of course the rapper Erratic, he has this arm right here, and whenever you start rapping, his arm just is extended.
Bro.
I told him about that one day. I was like, I saw your arm extend when he started rapping. He's like, I know. He's really good. And he's always like, maybe I can book him on my show. I'm like, okay, calm down.
Yeah, shout out to the guys at 806 on the mic, man.
So you did rap, huh? You did a little bit of that going
on?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's cool, man. You were the Eminem at the time.
Yeah, and I was the front man for a rap core band called Reconciled. So it was like the metal with the rap over it. Yeah,
really?
So kind of like Limp Bizkit style.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So, back in the late 90s when that was cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, man, I love hip hop and I love metal, man. And, cool. When you mix those two together, that's a whole nother level.
Hey, dude. So, okay, now continue with the stage. So, your stage, right? This is your first, going back, this is your first time on a comedy stage, bro. What was that like, man? For the first time doing comedy, man, do you remember what that was like?
Yeah. It was fun, man. I wasn't, stressed at all. And I was just really trying to gauge the crowd and see what was landing and what wasn't, what I should lean into more, what I should like kind of shy away from. And also because obviously I'm just hosting, right? So also the other thing that was running in my mind was how do I set up the next guy, you know, for the best possible outcome, you know, because that's the host's job is to, you know, keep things on track, get the crowd together, kind of focus the energy, and then set up the next comic. So that's kind of what was running in the back of my mind as I was trying to land my jokes at the same time.
Do you come up with your jokes on the spot, or do you just kind of have you remember your set?
No, I write a lot. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Occasionally, you know, you'll get one of those that just pops out just in the flow, you know, but that's just a bonus in my opinion, you know, the rest of the time. And when, you know, back in the day when I was a rapper, you know, I was one of those snobby ones, you know, like just really, my guys were like Nas, like, you know, wordsmiths, ones that were like, you'd listen to their verses, it's telling a story. There's a lot of witty wordplay. There's complicated rhyme patterns going on, you know, all of that. Like I love lyricists, I love wordsmiths. And so I try to bring that into the joke writing as well, you know, in the same way that I would spend a lot of time refining a verse to get it just right, you know. I'm trying to do that with my comedy as well.
And then, so you've only just it wasn't like you opened up, you were only just hosting, right?
Yeah, so I got up, I did like 5 minutes of my own material, and then, you know, brought up the next guy. And then I think I did like 2 minutes in between the next guy and the headliner.
So you've never actually been booked for an actual show before?
Shout out to Saul. He got me booked to open for Carl Remy over at Golden Light like 6 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
That was my first.
I didn't know that.
Like a book show. So sadly, it was on the same night that Yellow City Comedy was doing the Sad Monkey show, and so that might have been why you didn't hear about it.
Was it snowing that day?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I was out of town that time.
Gotcha.
I did not know. I didn't know you were doing that too. I didn't know that. Who came in?
Carl Remy.
Carl Remy.
Wow. Yeah, he's a comic out of Florida.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but he was in town promoting his horror show, horror movie called I Possessed, which is really good, by the way.
Really.
And so they were doing a showing of it at Synergy, your favorite place. And, they're doing a showing of it over there. So kind of what he was doing on his tour was coming in and the night before doing a comedy show.
Yeah.
And then promoting the movie the next night.
Oh, okay.
It was super cool, man.
I did not know that. So you didn't book him. You didn't book that guy. Okay. And then
a friend of his had him come to town and set up the show at Golden Light.
Okay.
And then Golden Light reached out to Yellow City asking for an opener. But all the comics from Yellow City were doing the Sad Monkey.
Yes.
And so Saul gave me the shout out, and so
that's cool. Hey,
yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, I did not know that. That's how how do I explain it? That's how it should be. You know, you're working together.
Right. Yeah, dude. 100%.
Okay. So the question I was trying to lead up to, dude. So. And that was your first time, right? That was your first time opening?
Like being booked to be on a show that I didn't put together, yeah. First and only one so far.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to ask you, have you ever bombed before? Have you ever I bombed. Oh, man. Oh, you know what I mean? Have you ever
I don't think I've had a bad bomb yet. I've definitely had some good sets and had some mediocre sets.
Okay.
I'm not to say that I won't bomb. I'm sure at some point I will for sure, but... And, you know, I've also not, you know, when you're doing 5 minutes and you've put in prep, you know, the right prep, I think, you know, you should be able to not bomb. But what do I know, man? I'm brand new. So I guess we'll find out.
Oh, okay. So.
But I haven't bombed yet.
Okay. So I thought you've been doing this for years. You know what I'm saying? I thought you were doing this in Dallas. And then you're all like, oh, I'm going to come over here and bring the town. That's what I thought. You know what
Gotcha.
So I didn't know you were new. Because you come off so professional. So I'm thinking, oh, he's been doing it for years.
Thanks, man.
Rookie.
Appreciate that. I am a rookie. That's true.
That's wild. So then what's it like, man? What's it like? Was it crushing it, man? What's that like then, man? What's that feel like?
You know, it's similar to like when you have a really good crowd as a musician, you know? And so that's what I would relate it to. It's like, man, you're getting to do what you love and it's being appreciated, right? There's a value exchange that's going on there. And man, there's not a lot like it, to be honest. You know, it's a great feeling, man. You're making people laugh. And, you know, you're getting to kind of shape a room. That's one of the things as a musician, you know, is is you've got all these components in the room. You got the people, you got the atmosphere, the energy level, all that, the sound. And it's like, what level of mastery are you at to be able to shape all of that together into an experience that's memorable? And so I think I'm always perceiving my personal comic journey kind of through that musician lens, because that's my area of comfortability and where like there was crowd interaction in my past. And so I think I kind of relate the two a lot.
Oh, okay. Nice. Comedy, is it an escape for you? Does it like kind of help you get away from the real world, in your opinion? You know what I'm saying? Does that help you out a little bit?
That's a really good question. I think listening to it for sure.
Oh yeah,
does.
For sure.
I think participating in it, I would see that more as I'm not escaping the world, I'm creating the world, right?
Yeah.
And so it's more like an expression or an engagement, an advancement, rather than an escape at that point.
Okay, that was a good answer. Hey, we're gonna go to break, guys, and then we'll thank our sponsor. This video is potentially sponsored by Dub, hopefully. Hey, so Dub, to you, man, what is comedy to you, guy? What is comedy? You know what I mean? What is it to you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so comedy to me is one of the most powerful art forms of communication on the planet. And I think that it's really about mastery over humor and harmony, man. And so if you're able to make people laugh, you're able to bring people together. And for me, like two big core values in my life is peace and joy, man. And I think that really those are the two components that create good laugh. Shoot, can I do that one again, man?
Yeah, go ahead.
Dang.
What is comedy to you? Yeah. What is it to you, guy?
Yeah, so comedy to me is one of the most powerful art forms of communication. Mm-hmm. And I really think it has the ability to bring people together, to unlock laughter, and laughter is life, man. And then also it allows people to learn new perspectives and to really go after the truth in a way that is uncancelable. I like to say that in our era, I think that comics are the uncancelable truth tellers of culture. And so the only place where you're really hearing important conversations that shape culture in a way where perspectives are being exchanged in a way that's not, just adversarial is in the comedy scene, man. So I think it's one of the most important aspects to life on the planet, man.
Mm-hmm. And that's cool, man. Heck yeah. I love it. Right there. Hold on. Which one is it? I think it was this one. There it goes. There we go. I love it. I love it. Heck yeah, dude. So the comedy scene here, man, you're trying to build it. You're doing good. And it's BombCity, right? So the comedians, they usually do local, and then you call people. So it's two separate, which is pretty cool, man, because I don't know. I don't know why. I wonder why Colin never did that. You know what I'm saying? Is it a lot doing all that?
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of front end risk as well. And and me and Colin have chatted about that, and I know that he's been screwed over a few times, bringing in people. And I totally get that, man. I've experienced that in the music scene. And so, yeah, it's hard to do, man. And also it's like, Colin has developed such a great group of comics around, that they're able to just get together and do a showcase. And that's a banging show right there, And so I think that when you got a full-time job, there's only so much one man can do, and so that's why I like the partnership aspect, because if I'm able to bring in some outside comics and then utilize the local comics that have already been working together and honing their skill, and now it goes to the next level with more exposure, more people being able to come and see what's going on, and so yeah, it's just a win-win for everybody.
Okay. Whenever you say screwed over, like, how does that really? What's going on there?
Yeah, so like if so you can get like a comic that like calls and is like, maybe they do have a lot of followers or whatever, but they're like, I got so much draw. If you can get the venue, then I'll make sure that it gets filled. And then, you got to do a contract with them where you're going to pay them that much, but it's based upon them saying they can fill the room. Yeah. And then it turns out they don't have the clout that they say they do. And so you've booked the room, you're contracted to pay them and cover their hotel room, if not some travel as well. And then if they don't end up filling the room because they're not who they think they are, then all of a sudden you're stuck with the bill.
Oh,
And so, like, the only reason I've been able to do the shows that I have up until this point is because Shark Beach is providing the venue for free.
Okay.
Right? They're keeping the drink sales and the food sales, which is awesome because that's a win-win. But if I had to go and rent a facility, for it to go in, like, ooh, man, now that risk factor goes way up, that profit margin goes way down, But since I'm able to keep all of the door on the tickets, then I'm able to be, I'm able to sign that contract with the comic that I'm bringing in, that I am going to be able to cover their travel expenses coming in, their hotel room, and then a certain amount for each show that they do, each set. And then, be able to break off a little bit for the local comic that's doing the feature spot as well. And, I'm only making $100, maybe $200 profit at the end of the night, but that's because I'm working on beginning to build some awareness, so that when we do open the comedy club, there's an audience to pull from, and that will become a profitable model once you have the comedy club. But it'll probably take a year or so before even that's profitable. You know what I mean? But I'm in it for the long haul, and it's going to be fun. I'm not scared to work hard and take some risk if it's fun, man.
Yeah, that's something I did learn over time. It takes money to make money, so you just got to put the money in there. And, you know what I'm saying? It's a win or lose kind of thing, or I don't know how to explain it. Win or lose, I guess. I don't know, but I didn't know that. You know what I mean? So I see what you're doing, man, and I hope it works out too. I really want to see it happen. But I didn't know. I didn't know, like, you know what I'm saying, that side of business. You know what I'm saying? You bring them and it's like, oh no, it's not good. You know what I mean? I didn't know that. You know what I mean? But whose fault would be who's in the fault in that though? Would it be the comedian? Like, for example, would that?
Well, I mean, and like the story that I'm referencing that Colin shared with me, that's definitely the comic. Comic, because he told Colin that he had enough. I'll be able to get people up there. There's so many of my fans there in Amarillo. The room will fill up. You know what I mean? Okay. Sign this contract. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And then so Colin's taking that at face value, as I would have too, starting out. Oh, well, if he can fill the room, then this is how much money is going to be made. So everybody's going to get paid. It's all good. And then nobody knows who this dude is, right? And the room doesn't get filled, and now Colin's paying it out of his pocket.
That sucks.
That does suck.
So that would be hundreds, I guess. Hundreds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, that sucks. Sure. Out of your pocket. I didn't know that. Like, I didn't know that side of business at all. I didn't. So, but then if it was a bigger comic, right? And then then that's a win, right? If it's a bigger guy.
Yeah, and I mean, I haven't even, man, I've had some great comics come in. I haven't had like a well-known comic come in yet. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so I don't even know how that game works. Yeah. The model that I'm looking for to start with the comedy club, and big shout out to Rose City Comedy Club down in Tyler, Texas. Okay. Their owner Chris has been helping me out a lot as well. It'll be similar to that model where we're bringing in these comics that are like, man, they're killers, but they haven't blown up yet. They're like right on the edge, And so really the advertising and the marketing is on the promoter and on the club, So the plan with BombCity Comedy Club is that we provide enough of a great experience for the individual that they just know, like, I may never have heard of this comic, but they always bring in funny comics, and I'm going to have a great time while I'm there. And so that will be the draw, rather than bringing in a big name, because that's a whole nother, there's tiers, right? Yeah. And that's a whole nother tier than the level I'm playing at.
You know what's interesting though, Dub, that I didn't know after knowing comedy is depending on the part of town you're at is where you get different crowds, and I didn't really know that. I always thought that comedy was more of like, it's the whole city, right? So it's just one giant crowd. But what I learned is, if we go to the north side of town, then we hit the Hispanic, Latino, African American community. When we go south side of town, you hit your, more.
The white people.
Yeah.
It's fine, bro.
Yeah, no, but like you. Yeah. Hold on, let me find it. Yeah. But we do have, in my personal opinion, we need a redneck comedian somewhere here. This is because it's more of a, I'm not saying it's a redneck town, but I feel like I think we resonate more with cowboys here, because
it's definitely a country vibe here. Right?
Yeah, I think Amarillo. If Yellow City or you can find a redneck comedian, I'm pretty sure he would crush, in my personal opinion.
Probably so.
Yeah. So, but like that, what I was trying to get at is I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? And what's interesting. So, what was with the comedians Gabe Casper, right?
Mm-hmm.
They did the 420 show over here, so it's on this side. So they drew
Yeah.
that crowd, right? A
Right.
good crowd, of course. And of course, they crushed it. You know what I mean? They crushed it because they had, it was a 420 show, so it was a lot of marijuana jokes,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of it stuck with that crowd. You know what I'm saying? Now we go to 575, and I'm still working on that video with those because I recorded those guys, man.
Yeah.
It came out great. I have to show you a clip. I can't show
Nice.
I can't show it here, but I'm gonna show you a clip with those guys. And they Gabe was the Gabe his set, because he's a, what do you call it? He's a host, so he's crushing it over here. Okay, let me start over. At the 420 show, Gabe closed and he crushed it. He crushed it. So many laughs. He crushed it. Everyone was laughing.
Yeah.
Now he is hosting at the 575 Pizza. Have you been in that venue before? Have you been there? Really nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Anyways, he opened up, and dude, it was kind of hard to watch, man, because I'm like, this is a tough crowd, because he was crushing it before with that crowd, but this crowd, it was kind of hard to get laughs. He did get laughs. He was getting there, but in the beginning, it was like, oh man, you know, I just wanted to get the cane and, you know, get him out. You know what I mean?
But, and I think one of the factors in that too is there's a big difference between, like, the show at was it Headhunters where the 420 show was?
Yes.
Yeah. So people came there for the show.
Mm-hmm.
People went to 575 to eat, and there was a show going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so, dude, being a host in that scenario is a whole nother level of hard, because you're having to reset the mindset of the person eating pizza into, because they just went there to eat pizza, and now all of a sudden there's a comedy show, and they're like, is it going to be good? Is it going to be irritating? Man, I just came here for pizza. And so you got to win them over. They're kind of against you, right? And so it could have been that same group of people. If they had come to a show on purpose, he probably would have been killing at that same level. But the hard part of Gabe's job in that was to reset the mindset of everybody in the room into, hey, surprise, there's a comedy show going on, and it's going to be awesome, and you're going to enjoy it. So he's having to convince people and get them on the side of the comics and align with the whole idea of a comedy show going on. And so, man, that's a whole nother thing to factor into what's going on there.
Oh, see, I did not know that. See, I thought it was just a crowd, you know what I mean? Or just the type of crowd we're talking about. But I didn't really consider that, you know what I mean? Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
So many different factors, man. And even just like the lighting in the room, because then it's like the darker you can get the room, the more laughs you're going to get.
Really?
Because otherwise, if I can see you and we're watching a comic, and maybe I know where you work or whatever, then it's like, dang, am I going to laugh as hard at that joke? Because what if Brian thinks that joke is a little out there and he sees me laughing at it, right? So now there's like all these constraints going on in the mindset of every single person in there, and they are governing or limiting how much they're going to express how funny they think things are. But if you're able to get the room pitch dark, everybody's going to laugh hard, because now they're not worried about what anybody else is thinking. And so, man, I mean, the amount of distraction in the room, how good the sound is, how dark it is, the temperature, how packed the crowd is, how spread out it is. Are the people there for a show, or is it just kind of an added on thing that's going on? Like, all of those factors go into play, and it's going to determine how easy it is to kill and how hard it is.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. See, I did not ever consider that. See, I'm learning that now. That's cool, man. Yeah. Poor Gabe. He did eventually, you know, get it going.
He's good.
He did get it going. It's just that the beginning, I was just like, man. And then again, all these comedians, Yellow City, they're always crushing it. They're always good. It's just that time. And then the beginning, I'm like, man, bro. And I have a clip. It's just, I'll show you. And I showed him, and I told him I won't post that. I promise you. But it was just, it wasn't hard to watch, but it was funny.
Gotcha.
But anyways, no, dude, no, I cannot believe I never thought of that. I did not know that. And I was gonna add on to that, and I just fell out of my mind.
It happens, man.
Yeah, because but like stuff like that, I just never knew. You know what I mean? You know a lot. So, and you're a rookie.
I'm a researcher too, though, right?
Are
like
you?
I understand there's a science behind success in every industry, and so as soon as I was just thinking about even just hosting a show, much less opening a comedy club, man, I was starting to study. You know,
now I remember. So that show, now that you bring it up, because people wanted pizza and all that stuff. So it was a free show. I remember now. It was a free show, but I'm pretty sure they paid Yo City Right. So what's better though? Is it better to do it like that, or is it better for tickets in your opinion? Because I asked Colin this before, and he kind of gave me a different one. But in you,
Hmm.
what's better? Is it better for the venue to pay you up front, or is it better for the ticket sales? In your opinion, have you had that yet at all, or no?
I haven't encountered that yet. I think my personal preference would be ticket sales only because then everybody who has come into the room has made an intentional decision that they want to see a comedy show.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, like the intention of the crowd adds so much. And so I would prefer it to be a ticketed event rather than a free event. Because if it's free, it's a sideshow.
Mm-hmm.
If it's ticketed, it's the main event.
Okay.
And so I would always go for, and people value what they pay for.
Yeah, for sure.
And so if they haven't paid for it, they're coming in like, I can take it or leave it. I'm going to dig this pizza,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if I've paid, even if it's just $5 to get in the room, man, I paid to see some comedy. I'm going to pay some attention,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm expecting a return on my investment.
Mm-hmm.
And so shifting the attitude and the intention of the crowd, to me, that would be, I'd rather make less at a ticketed event and have a killer crowd than make more at a free event and the crowd give two craps if I'm there.
Okay, so ticket sales, that makes sense. Because Colin, what he does is, it's like, the venue will call him and they'll either help pay him and it's a free show, or it's ticket sales. But I don't know. I never actually asked him that. Actually, now I think about it, I'm gonna have to ask him when I bring him on. But so ticket
You
sales.
have to fact check yourself, bro.
Yeah, for real. I know. No, I never. I don't know. That's cool though. Ticket sales. I'm gonna remember that. What was that one? So, and you never been to a Kill Tony show, right? You never been to any of those
Not
before?
live, no.
Not live. Oh, but you have seen it before.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. And so I was gonna ask you this one. I saw this and I looked it up, and I wanted to ask you this one. Would you rather bomb in front of five people or kill in front of 500 who don't laugh? Because we just said that right now. But what would you want right now?
Kill in front of 500 who don't laugh.
Would you rather bomb in front of 5 people or kill in front of 500 who don't laugh? Oh, that's funny. All these funny jokes. Which one would you rather?
Like when you say bomb, do you mean like the 5 people are laughing?
Yeah, like, would you rather bomb? No, they're not laughing. Well, hold on. Would you rather bomb in front of 5 people or kill in front of 500 who don't laugh? It's a weird question.
That is a weird question.
But try your best to answer it.
I mean, I think if nobody was laughing, I would still feel like I was bombing, even if my jokes were good. So I'd probably rather have 5 people not laughing than 500 not laughing.
Oh, okay, so you're right.
That might be kind of rough to recover from, bro.
Yo, it's funny because I had Roderick McDaniel come on here, and I did ask him about the whole bombing thing, and I said, dude, I mean, he said he did Kill Tony, or he did something. I was like, hey, what was your first bomb? He said that he was in a large crowd, and so I was like, what's it like if you bomb? He's like, well, it's not too bad. I still got paid, but it stings and it'll stick with you. And I was like, oh man. So I thought about that, and I was like, man, so if you bomb, it'll stick with you and you'll remember that, and it makes you not want to bomb. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of makes sense on that.
Yeah.
And so now I just wanted to ask you these extra questions, dude.
Yeah.
How do you handle mental health like, oh man, so you haven't had a bad show yet, huh? And I wanted to ask you, like, how do you handle that mentally when you read a bad show?
Well, in music, I've had some bad shows.
Oh, okay.
And so that works. So, man, I'm just a big fan of, taking inventory of your thoughts. And so, like, if you don't stop and say, okay, I'm going to think about what I'm thinking about, and then choose, to govern your thoughts and say, okay, this thought serves me, so I'm going to keep it. This one doesn't serve me, so I'm going to dismiss it. If you don't do that, then your thoughts end up running you rather than you running your thoughts.
Okay.
And so, if I had a bad show back in the music scene, the first thing I'm going to do is get super honest with myself. Like, how much of that was my fault?
Yeah.
Was it lack of preparation? Was it not reading the room well? Was it not understanding the demographic that was going to be there, which was lack of research? All of those types of things. And I'm going to take full responsibility for where I screwed up so that I can do it better next time. Yeah. And then, if there were some things that were outside of my control, like, man, I've done some shows where the power went out in the middle.
Oh, wow.
Dude, that kills all the momentum.
Really?
And that's not my fault. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to take as much responsibility on that, if it was, take in all the factors, take responsibility for what's mine, refuse to take responsibility for what's not mine.
Yeah.
And then after I've processed it, okay, it was a good show, it was a bad show, this is what I've learned from it. Now, why am I going to think about it anymore? I've pulled every splinter of value I can out of that experience. Mm-hmm. And so it served me to the best of its capability. And so now, man, I'm going to set it to the side and go after the next thing.
Like, yeah, dude. That's how it should be. Like, yeah. I know some people hate bomb and I bomb. It's all good, bro. But I like that. I like that answer. So now let me ask you this last question. So now that this dub, let's pretend that you got someone invited you to their Netflix show. You know what I'm saying? What was the question? Oh yeah. So which comic would you open for if you can? If it was on a Netflix special worldwide, man.
Any comic?
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle.
You would do it for Dave Chappelle? Man, if I was a comedian, I'd open up for what's his name? Oh my gosh, dude. He's a midget. Oh my gosh, bro. What was his name? Brad Williams. I'd open up for that, man.
Dude, he's hilarious, bro. Oh my god.
Dude, I do want to apologize about I remember, if you remember when what's his name came on town. Remember that? You know that guy that came? Yeah, dude. I try to get you on there too. I really did.
Oh, I know you did.
It's because it just bothers me till this day, because it's like, and I told Roger this. I was like, dude, I try to get, because the guy that hit me up at the Civic Center was like, hey, can you help me find a comic? And I was like, yeah, sure. So when I sent 3 messages, I sent Yellow City and then Javi and then you. And then I was hoping he can get just the 3 of y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted. And I told him, so Colin reached out first, and I reached out to the guy, like, do you need more comedians, bro? I got a guy named BombCity. He can help you out. And I, Javi Zamora, you know what I'm saying? He's with Yellow City, but he can help you out too. I tried, dude. I was like, do you need more? But he didn't respond. And then the show went on, and Colin opened up, and
as it should have been,
and it did good. But the thing that, it's just, I try to help you, and I felt real bad, because I was hoping he would like, yeah, let's get these more. Because I've been to a comedy show where it's 4 people that open up, and then it's the main event. You know what I'm saying? So I was thinking that's what he was looking for. Whenever he messaged me, he said that because he said the opener was his opener, and I thought it was openers where he was stuck, and this is with the win here in Amarillo.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking like, oh, okay, well, he needs openers. Maybe I can help him out. Like, oh, we can. This is it. We can build a comedy scene with Yellow City, BombCity. You know what I'm saying? And then what? It just got me sad, because he got the guy. He got Colin, but when I brought up your name, do you need more? And then BombCity, he didn't reach out to me, and.
Dude, you gotta let that go, man.
And then it just got me upset, because I was like, man, this would have been an opportunity for him. And it would have been for, Javi. Of course, it's Yellow City, but I was like, man, I try my best to kind of get it going there. And
dude, I just appreciated the call, period, Yeah. And dude, I mean, there's 10 comics that should have gotten that spot, including Colin, before me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I was just like, hey, if there's an opportunity, I'm not going to let it go by. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But dude, Colin absolutely deserved that. And, yeah, that was awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm trying. Like I said, I'm trying also to help the comedy scene here too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Dude, the other day I was overworked and I was just stressing out, so I went downtown to see one of their comedy shows, and it was Butler's. It was great, dude. Nice. It was great, and I was happy. And so that's when I messaged you. I don't know if you remember, when I was like, hey, when's your next show? It's Father's Day. Yeah. So that's kind of the thing I like about comedy, for mentally, especially. I honestly recommend everybody doing this. Like, if you're stressing out, mad, sad, or whatever, go to a comedy show.
Heck yeah.
Go
to
a comedy show.
Life, bro.
Go to a comedy show. And then, whenever I have comedians on here, I'll be like, hey, go check out Yellow City. Also check out BombCity. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks, man.
So I'm just, what you're doing, man, and I'm really happy that you're doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm trying to help you guys out too, both sides. And I always bring up, it's funny though too, because I'm over here like, hey guys, check out YCC and check out BCC, and I'm over here thinking, that don't sound right. I should probably not say that. And they're like, yeah, I don't think Dub would like that.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Do you have a logo and everything too and all that, or no?
Yeah. I've been utilizing a logo that, I purchased it off Shutterstock, you know what I mean? Okay. And I don't know if it'll end up being like the logo that we use like on the official club, but definitely in that vein, the kind of 40s pinup model on a bomb.
Oh, nice.
That whole deal,
Yeah.
That's kind of the vibe I'm going for there.
Heck yeah, dude. No, dude. First of all, I do want to say thank you for coming on. And my next question, bro. When's your next show?
Yeah, so Father's Day. So that's Sunday, June 15th.
Mm-hmm.
It's at 7 o'clock on a Sunday at Shark Beach. And we're bringing in Chris Gardner, who
okay.
is a hilarious DFW comic. And he was in that show Stepfathers.
Wow.
And yeah, man, I'm pumped for it. He is hilarious. And so, and Javi is going to be the
is he?
Yes. Feature on that. So
right.
yeah, I'll host Javi's featuring, and then Chris Gardner, man. So only one show at 7 o'clock. So you can go to sharkbeachamarillo.com.
Sharkbeachamarillo.com. W, I don't have a Bomb City official page, do you? Or no?
Only on the Facebook page.
Just the Facebook page.
So,
but y'all are
BombCity Comedy on Facebook.
Okay, BombCity Comedy, ladies and gentlemen. And check them out, man. Check out Yellow City Comedy. Check out BombCity Comedy, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here, man. We'll see you guys next time. Dub, everybody. Bomb City. Peace out.
I've been thinking about you day and night. I can't get